Coming up, we'll show you how friends and co-workers mourn the loss of fallen Columbia Fire Lieutenant Bruce Britt. We'll also show you why other firefighters and first responders from across the state felt the need to join in today's services. That's coming up.
And I'm tracking some light wintry mix tomorrow, but a winter storm will move in this weekend. I'll have your weather headlines in the first 7 minutes.
ABC 17 News at 5 on KMIZ starts now.
All stations, all companies, this channel is now restricted for a special announcement. We will now transmit the last alarm for our brother, Lieutenant Bruce Britt. His friendship, compassion, and service to this community will be greatly missed. This is the last alarm for Lieutenant Bruce Britt. February 27, 2014 at 11:19, KDJ 485.
That was the scene earlier today as a 911 operator toned out Columbia firefighter Bruce Britt one last time. It was a sad day for many as firefighters and first responders from across the state joined to pay their respects to Lieutenant Britt. He died early Saturday while helping to evacuate University Village apartments near campus following a partial balcony collapse. Memorial services were held this morning at the Crossing Church in South Columbia. ABC 17's Meredith Haynes was at the Crossing. She joins us now to explain how everything went. Meredith?
Well, the memorial was split between Britt's two lives, his personal life, God, his wife and kids, and his work life, his brothers and his fellow firefighters.
Our Father.
Yes, Bruce Edward Britt was a fireman. He was also a cowboy and a herdsman and a very caring Christian person.
Thy kingdom come.
His death is really a sober reminder to all of us that there are people in our midst who are willing and daily willing to give their lives for us.
Give us this day our daily bread.
We have lost the most noble of us all, the man or woman who rushes to danger to allow the rest of us to walk away from that danger.
I know in my heart that he is resting with the comfort of knowing that you will continue performing in a method that honors him.
Now the family continued services to honor Lieutenant Britt in private. Flags will be flown at half staff for the next 3 weeks in Boone County to honor the fallen firefighter.
All right, thanks, Meredith. Today's services were filled with tradition and respect for Lieutenant Britt as firefighters from all corners of the state joined to mourn their colleague. Services started very early this morning at the Memorial Funeral Home near Cosmo Park. ABC 17's Heather Horrigan was there talking with the firefighters, and Heather, they described this procession as a show of their brotherhood.
That is a term I heard over and over again today. This family-like bond firefighters form with one another, and even with those they have never met. Many of the firefighters that gathered at Cosmo Park this morning didn't even know Lieutenant Bruce Britt, but came together today in Columbia to honor his life.
Anytime a firefighter loses his life in a line of duty, we all feel the pain.
The procession began at 8:45 this morning, leaving Memorial Funeral Home heading east down the business loop, south onto Providence to Grindstone Parkway, where it ended at the Crossing for the memorial service. At least 15 Columbia Water and Light trucks lined business loop as people lined the streets of Providence to honor Lieutenant Britt as the procession drove by.
It's a big brotherhood. Everybody takes care of one another, you know, and they just come to everybody's care.
There were more than 30 trucks and emergency apparatus in the procession. I saw trucks from Wellsville, Marion County, Eldon, and more.
The brotherhood goes very, very deep in the fire service. We very much feel a sense of camaraderie.
That was also evident today with Boone County and Jefferson City firefighters stepping up to help man Columbia fire stations while Britt's coworkers attended the service. Firefighters tell me as much as it is about honoring their brother, Lieutenant Bruce Britt, it's about paying their respects to Britt's own family.
Thanks, Heather. There are also donations set up for Lieutenant Britt's family. There's a Stormy Britt Memorial Fund for his daughter through Edward Jones off East Clark Lane in Columbia. And there's a larger group they want to support named the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. Their address is on our website, abc17news.com. And right now, we've said flags are still flying at half-staff outside every government and state office building in Boone County. That's until sunset. Officials in Columbia also asked flags to remain at half-staff for 30 days at all city buildings, starting on the day Britt died. Today's staffing was minimal, so employees could attend the memorial. Britt's wife is the manager at Columbia's Neighborhood Services, so the department was closed until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Well, the cold weather is sticking around tonight, and there's another chance for some snow tomorrow. To break it all down, all those changes, let's go over to ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray with your first full complete forecast. Sharon.
That's right, Daniel. Tomorrow's system coming through is going to have very little precipitation, but we will get some. And because of the air temperatures warming above freezing, it'll turn into a mix of rain and snow. There will be light a mix coming in the afternoon tomorrow. Any accumulation looks like it would be south of Interstate 70, possibly a ½ inch of slushy snow, but it doesn't look like we're going to see too much with that. What I am watching, though, for the weekend is what could be a major winter storm. And this one is going to bring precipitation starting Saturday night. We could even have a little freezing drizzle during the day Saturday, but Saturday night we see across northern Missouri light snow continuing to spread across. Meanwhile, to the south we'll see increasing freezing rain and sleet. All of that will continue to increase as we head into Sunday. And Sunday's the day we're going to see most of the precipitation of a sleet, freezing rain mix south and snow north. Accumulation is likely this weekend, and I do expect possible significant ice. So that's something we're going to keep a close eye on. And if you have weekend plans, any travel plans this weekend, keep a very close eye on the forecast. This is going to impact a large area. Temperatures right now are in the 20s to low 30s across the region. We have 28 at Columbia. It warmed up a little more today at the Lake of the Ozarks, making it to 34. So certainly not too bad. But tonight is going to drop down into those teens tonight. Not as cold as last night. In fact, we'll be in those teens through the overnight hours with a few high clouds drifting in, and the wind is going to pick up a little, so we'll have wind chills in the single digits. Lows tonight dropping down into those teens from 15 at Columbia, 16 at the lake. An east-southeast wind, though, will start to increase, and it'll become breezy tomorrow. This is our system out here. We are going to see this area of low pressure pulling across to the south of us tomorrow, and with that we will see the potential of a little bit of precipitation. Tonight you can see how the clouds continue to increase as we go through the night. Tomorrow we start the day dry. The morning commute looks good, but as we head through the afternoon, temperatures will actually go above freezing tomorrow. We warmed these up a little more than yesterday, and you can see right here is that mix. There could be a little bit of sleet or snow in here, as well as some rain mixing in. It's going to be very light and pulling to the north and to the east through the early evening tomorrow. That will end, but we'll still have some spotty freezing drizzle tomorrow evening, as well as a little bit of snow at times in our northern counties, but it won't add up to much. At best, up to a ½ inch if you live south, and north just a dusting at most. So it's not going to be very much precipitation, but what I am watching for the weekend is snow and ice for Saturday night and Sunday in my next weather. I'll track that for you through Sunday evening. Next 7 days, temperatures are much colder Sunday and Monday. Look at those numbers. Teens during the day, 20s Tuesday. We warm up late next week. Daniel?
All right, thanks, Sharon. And while family members of the community and members of the community are mourn Columbia's fallen firefighter Lieutenant Bruce Britt, tonight concerns continue at the MU housing complex where he died. We've learned that the daycare center at the University Village is staying where it is for the rest of the semester, despite parents' concerns. Inspectors have been out to the center multiple times since the weekend, and we continue to ask MU for past inspections of University Village, which was built in the mid-50s. We expect more information by next week. School leaders have also ordered re-inspections at more than 1,200 buildings across the state. Today we confirmed inspectors are currently working on the main campus. And right now in Jefferson City, school leaders are tackling overcrowding. The high school is already more than 300 students beyond their maximum capacity. The Long Range Facility Planning Committee is meeting in just 30 minutes. They're also planning to talk about the aging buildings, including the Simonson 9th Grade Center. Their goal is to review all of the comments taken last November and present a long-term plan by July. We'll bring you some of the details from their discussion later tonight on ABC 17 News at 10.
Up next on ABC 17 News at 5, where the news comes first.
Work on a massive project is officially underway tonight at Capital Region Medical Center in Jefferson City. We'll tell you why the hospital is choosing to expand right after the break.
This is family, whether it's one city or not. You know, we're all family in the fire service, and we're here to support our family members in this time of need.
At the top of the hour, we'll bring you reaction from other firefighters in the area to explain what they did to help Columbia today. That's on ABC 17 News at 6. And tonight, an expansion is officially underway at Capital Region Medical Center in Jefferson City on Madison Street. The $37 million project includes a 4-story addition just north of the existing hospital. Today's groundbreaking ceremony was held earlier this afternoon. Jefferson City, Cole County, and hospital officials all came together to celebrate that groundbreaking. This project will add about 120,000 square feet to the medical center. It will enhance access, expand outpatient services, and provide state-of-the-art physician offices. The new facility will also include therapies, pharmacies, radiology, and breast center. Hospital President Ed Farnsworth says the expansion will provide for the medical needs of those in Jefferson City, so they will no longer have to travel out of town for post-op care.
It's going to provide care in a much more convenient way, and it's for outpatient services and physician services, which is so vitally important to our patients, and that is important to our community.
Construction is expected to be completed sometime in the summer of 2015. Now, Capital Region is a 114-bed facility that offers a variety of medical services, including prenatal, maternity, and home health care.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the wintry weather heading in for the weekend, starting with tomorrow's temperatures, which actually warm up a little bit above freezing for a change, but then we go right back down into those teens by Sunday. I'll show you the changes next.
It's outside a little earlier today, and the wind just cuts right through the jacket.
Oh, yeah. That air was
brutal.
Icy this morning feeling. You know, it did warm up in our southern counties, though. The lake actually went above freezing this afternoon. So there's some warmer air that's actually starting to move in from the south. But to the north, that cold air is holding steady. In fact, we have 29 degrees right now in Sedalia, feeling like 22 out there. Some high thin clouds coming in right now. Look at the lake, how pretty this is, and a little bit warmer with 37 degrees. But you go north, and it's quite a difference. 26 at Columbia right now at Joe Mockins BMW, and at Jeff City we have 30 degrees. Still lots of sunshine out there. Tomorrow we do see that warm air continuing to move in, and we'll see high temperatures in the 30s, above freezing tomorrow, touching even close to 40 briefly in a few spots. So tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. We do have very cold air above the surface, but at the ground level it'll be warmer. So there's still going to be some of this snow trying to come down in the afternoon, especially south of Interstate 70, but when it runs into the warmer air, it'll start to melt. So it could be some slushy snow and rain mix for the afternoon tomorrow. It isn't going to be a lot, and it'll mainly be through the afternoon into the early evening and taper off. Tomorrow night, this is 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, as temperatures drop below freezing, we're going to keep an eye for a freezing drizzle. There may be some patches of that around, so we'll have to watch for any glazing of ice tomorrow night, and even Saturday. Some of that real fine drizzle could be coming from the sky, and temperatures Saturday will be below freezing most of the day. Right now, the Arctic air has settled into the north, but this warmer air kind of won out today from the south. So we're right in between that boundary. That Arctic air is going to come right back in this weekend. By Saturday night and Sunday, it's going to get very cold here. But in the meantime, we are going to get a little bit of a break. This wave of low pressure is going to carry with it a little bit of moisture tomorrow. We'll see again a rain-snow mix, half an inch or less at best from that. It's mostly going to be rain. So certainly not a concern there. It's the weekend system that I'm watching carefully. Here is an idea of what it's going to bring, and because the temperature profiles are still uncertain, and that determines how much ice or snow we're going to get. Haven't given you amounts yet, but we know for sure we've got moisture coming in, and it could be significant. Saturday morning, notice temperatures are in the 20s. As we go through the day, a little bit of freezing drizzle is possible, and temperatures will be just below or near freezing. As we go into the evening and overnight, see how the snow builds in northern Missouri, and at the same time we'll start to see a very light freezing rain or sleet mix develop Saturday evening for mid-Missouri. That will continue to increase as we head toward early Sunday morning. So the precipitation, it continues to be snow to the north. Right along 70, there's that cutoff line. So it's going to be wobbly, depending on snow or freezing drizzle. We'll see freezing rain and sleet Sunday morning. All this purple, that's what that is. That's ice. And to the north is snow. That'll be gradually building to the south Sunday night, changing all to snow. So the big question is how much? And it does look like we have potential of 3 to 6 inches north of Interstate 70 of snow. We don't have the totals, figured out quite yet, but could see some pretty decent numbers north. And as far as ice, 1/10, maybe 2/10 of an inch of ice south. So something to watch this weekend if you have any travel plans. It's going to start getting pretty slick out there by Sunday morning.
Ooh, the weekend. Everybody's going to be out having fun, and it's going to be cold.
Isn't it Mardi Gras weekend, too?
Yes, it is in St. Louis. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sharon.
Right.
Coming up, the Missouri House passes a bill requiring a photo ID in order to vote, and the White House is now making another recommendation, changing the way your food looks. We'll explain today's new proposal for common product labels you find in the grocery store. That's right after the break. A bill now heading to the Senate is making a requirement to show a photo ID if you want to vote here in Missouri. Today, the House passed 2 measures only letting voters use government-issued cards. Critics say it will discourage people from going to the polls, but Republicans say it prevents election fraud. And there are more recommendations from the White House, changing how your food is labeled. Today, the First Lady unveiled more realistic packaging. That includes larger serving sizes to reflect what you actually eat. Michelle Obama says the first thing you'll notice are the labels.
No matter what the final version looks like, the new label will allow you to immediately spot the calorie count because it will be in large font and not buried in the fine print. You'll also learn more about where the sugar in the food comes from.
Right now, the final product could be years away. The FDA is currently taking comments for 90 days before making a final ruling. The agency thinks it could cost companies roughly $2 billion. Up next, Sharon has a look at your final forecast going into the weekend. Some breaking news right now for you tonight about a crash currently tying up traffic just west of Columbia along I-70. This is a look at the MoDOT map with a live shot of the highway near mile marker 122. That's just past the Columbia Mall before the Midway exit. We have crews going to the scene right now, and we'll bring you more details about what happened coming up at the top of the hour. Sharon?
And coming up, we're going to take a closer look at that storm coming in for the weekend. But for now, we can enjoy a little bit of a warm-up. Tomorrow, we make it into the 30s with 37 degrees tomorrow. We actually go above freezing in the afternoon. Saturday, though, we drop back down to the 20s to low 30s. Saturday is going to be a day where we have a big temperature difference across the area, and we cool down even more by Saturday night. Sunday's bitterly cold. We are going to see just a light wintry mix tomorrow, some slushy snow and rain coming in, but it won't be very much tomorrow afternoon into the early evening. And then some freezing drizzle. Some patches of that are possible from tomorrow night through Saturday. That could leave a glaze of ice in a few spots, but the biggest concern is from Saturday evening and overnight into Sunday. We'll see increasing snow and freezing rain and sleet across the area. So Sunday's the day that we're going to see most accumulation of that with temperatures in the teens.
And nothing too measurable, right, out of this?
For Friday, no, but the weekend, yes, I think we're going to get,
So definitely be careful out there.
Yes.
That does it for us. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.